Hey guys, and welcome to talking about how things can be built in Fusion or any CAD program. There's two different directions, and so there's top down and bottom up. A subassembly just means when you take a little section, put it together, and then put that assembly into another assembly. And we'll kind of brush over that, but these two I want to talk about real quick. So, bottom up modeling is when the assembly is assembled, each piece is done in individual parts, different files on Fusion, whatever we're using Fusion. And then you open a new one, create the assembly, bring everything into that. And then from there, you have your assembly. Top down is a little different, and I'm not sure that we've done anything like it. So we're going to do that now. And we're going to walk through how top-down works. But essentially, you build one piece in the file, and then you build the other pieces in it under components. So let's go into here. So I'm going to go into a new file. So what you're going to do is just create a new file. You have this. And right now I have it unsaved. That's fine. But what I want you to do is go into Assembly and go to New Component. And here we'll just call this Base. So that's the beginning of it. So we will say that. Now, if you look on the left, we originally had this little like assembly symbol here. And now we have this little block here, this component here with a little dot next to it, activate component. So if I go back here, then it's everything. But if I go back into here, I'm only working in that little component. So let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch, and I'm going to pick the bottom plane. And I'm going to make a 3-inch circle. So for you guys, what I'm going to do is just go ahead, click in the center, drag, click, and then go to D for dimension, and then change it to 3, and 3 inches. So if you're in millimeters and you want to switch it, of course you can, or you can type in the IN. I'm going to hit OK, or finish sketch. And then I'm going to extrude it. We're just going to go up 0.25 and then hit OK. So the other thing I want to teach you is just a couple real quick pattern things. So let's do that. So, ooh, that's not right. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to look here. I'm going to go ahead and do create sketch, and I'm going to create it on this gray plane here. I'm going to go to line, and I'm going to create it as a construction line. Click on the center, go straight up and click. Then click off. Finally, the center diameter circle, we're going to go ahead and draw it about there. And let's dimension it. So it's clicked on that specific line, which locks it in that direction, but it's still blue. So let's define it. So go D for dimension. I'm going to make this circle 0.20. And then I'm going to make the distance from here to here 0.25. So now I have that, I can hit finish sketch. And then I'm going to extrude it. And we're going to extrude this 0.5 inches. So 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, you know, we're doing all kinds of things that are I'm trying to keep everything standard. Okay, so now that we have that, what I want us to do is pattern it. So I'm going to go here to create, pattern, circular. You see where it is? Create, pattern, circular. And then I'm going to go here, features, and I'm going to click on this peg. And then where it says axis, I'm going to click on the square. And the cool thing about axis, it doesn't have to be a dot or a line like this here. You can actually use the circle because the circle has a center point and it's using that. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm going to change my quantity to 7. I just think that's a nice shape there. Okay, hit OK. And so that gives you, you know, a circle with a peg with pegs on it. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to create other pieces and do the assembly in here, right? Because we're doing we're doing this one here, top-down modeling. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into this, and I'm going to hit the little point, like the circle here. And I'm going to hit save, and we called it top-down. Wait, did I say top-down or bottom-up? I did. Dude, this is like a dyslexic person's nightmare. Just saying. Top-down modeling. Okay. So did I name it? I didn't. Okay, so save. So in the last class, they came up with top-down John. And we're going to stick with that because it's kind of funny and works. Okay, so we'll hit OK. Save. And so this is here. This is selected here. This is here. If you are still in this when you start your next component, you're going to end up feeding it the wrong way. So this is where timeline matters, and the way that you do this matters. Okay, we're going to go to assembly, and we're going to go to new component. And we're going to call this an insert. We're going to hit OK. And now I'm going to go ahead and create sketch, and I'm going to pick still the top of the ghost part. And if you look here, you can see like we have a top-down John, right? And then we have the base, and then we have the insert, and the little dot is next to the insert, meaning that's the one we're using. We've selected something off the ghost one, and then we're going to go ahead and hit P for project, and we're going to click on that top again and hit OK. So now I have like a purple outline there. So I'll hit finish. And we're going to extrude that little outline I made. Now, this is not a, let me do 0.25. This is not a in real life kind of thing because I grabbed the exact measurements. And so that would be like a friction fit, right? You need a little bit of wiggle room in between them. So do not laser cut and or 3D print this as is. Okay, but I'm not going to do the tolerances right now. What I'm going to do is, for this project, I think this works. Okay, so you see how we have this, right? So I extruded at 0.25. So now I'm going to go back into my top-down John and click on that dot. And look, they're both here. You'll also see that the base has the anchor, which was the first one we did, and the insert doesn't. So like I can move that around. What we would normally do is hit joint, right, and assemble. For this assignment, I'm not stressing about that because this is just about showing you how this all works. So the last thing I want you to do is you have this selected here. So you're up in this top selection. You're going to right click on insert and you're going to go down to this Control-C copy. You could also Control-C. And then we're going to select off of it and right click, and then we're going to go ahead and paste. And what it does is it pastes it right where the other one was. So I'm going to go ahead and move this up a little. And I'm going to go above just so you can see what's going on. I am not giving you a dimension where you have to worry about exactly where it is. But when you turn this in, I need to see that there's these three components, right? So hit OK. So this is top down. This is, if I go back and we look at this again, top down. We built everything within one file, but each one had its own component. Versus bottom up, where you're doing every single component in a different file and bringing those together in another file. Okay? Bottom up, top down. Okay. So here we are. So you're just going to hit save. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to share the link. Turn it on. Copy. You don't have to do anything else. That's it. And just upload that to the Canvas assignment, and you're done. Good luck.